I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Our first order of business is recognition of visitors wishing to speak, and we have the students who participated in Quiz Bowl who signed up to speak. So if you please stand up for 5 minutes.
Unify numbers.
Would you state your name? Names.
Hi, I'm Ben Lackner.
I'm Adam Edwards. And I'm Tom Greco.
We're three of about the 5 or 6 Quiz Bowl members. We had a great season this year. We started off with a tournament at UB, and then we went to Cornell for a tournament where we played against some of the best players in the nation. We also went to Nichols for a tournament where our team came in 2nd place. And then finally, the culmination was our trip to DC, which really wouldn't have been possible without the help of the school board and the district, as well as our great advisors, Ms. Ward over there, Mr. Murray and Mr. Juarez, and my mom did chaperone the trip, so thank you. Mr. Murray and my mom were both chaperones. DC was an awesome experience. We were able to tour the Capitol through Congressman Higgins' office. That was great. We got to sit in the gallery when there was discussion going on, and then we had a long day of competition. We were able to go to Middle Eastern Institute. Thank you. That's the word I'm looking for. Institute, and play against other, as we said before, top teams in the nation. So I just want to say thank you for giving us the opportunity to go to DC, providing the funds, but also allowing us to compete. So thank you.
We also were in a Masterminds League that we started in the fall with the help of Mr. Pigeon, who graciously supported the financials of it. And it was a a good opportunity to go and see the competition that was more local. When we were in all these other tournaments, people from different states or just across the state, but here it's more the Williamsville schools and Mount St. Mary's, and it's easier to maybe gain some more knowledge, what you have to learn about, and also connect with people who are still in the school you see every day, or you can see on the street, and you can network with them when you go into college and say, hey, I know you from this place, and maybe we should go and connect for something. And it was a lot of fun to go and do that on Wednesday mornings, and it was a good time.
Yeah, this was my first year in Quiz Bowl. I'm looking forward to next year. We're starting to handpick some people who can join the team now that we're losing 3 seniors. So we're looking to improve on our national rank too. We moved up 16 spots like Ben said, and we're hoping to move up more next year. And I'm really looking forward to it. And thank you so much for supporting our efforts. And we hope to make you proud. Thank you.
As the official Quiz Bowl mom, I just want to say a couple words. For the price of a lot of Twizzlers and a backpack full of sweet and savory snacks, I got to be part of this. I got to see this really cool kind of competition. It's not, physically, well, it is actually physically demanding. They answer have to think about, at least if not answer, 160 questions in the morning, have a quick lunch, and then start all over again. And there's teamwork involved, because sometimes you have to know that something's not in your wheelhouse, it's in someone else's wheelhouse, and allow them to speak. It's speed. You need to get your answer out before anybody else, and you have to be able to listen to questions, and that the readers, the skill that they have is to speak faster than humanly possible, and you have to be able to understand what they're even asking of you. And these are a great group of kids, and one of the most fascinating things that I found was, after a long, long day of all this, I went downstairs when we were in DC, and both Tom and Ben were studying for their Amherst subjects, which I don't even know how is possible after a long day. But you guys really were wonderful, and each of the advisors are just absolutely dedicated, devoted, and really help guide these kids to where they're able to perform and thank you very much to the students as well as the advisors. All right.
Thanks, Mom.
All right. Don't you have something to study now?
I'm going to Griffin, so that's awesome.
All right. All right, thank you. All right, we have two special committees to report on. The audit committee, Mr. Wiebler.
Yeah, the audit committee met on June 9th to review and discuss the internal audit with our auditors, Lumsden and McCormick. And the two areas were payroll, which was accounting for vacation, sick days, and other benefits, and also independent contractors versus employees. In the first area, the recommendation was made to have the information reviewed by another individual that isn't involved in the preparation. In addition, clarification was given that the accrual should be based on the pay rate in that year. And then the second area, the auditors were satisfied on how we were classifying individuals. The auditors provided some resources for the district to refer to in the future if there are any questions on how to classify individuals, meaning employees or independent contractors.
Thank you. And Mr. Steinle, the capital committee?
We had a capital committee meeting on June 14th. We went over some of the future projects, the list that we're looking. We explored some different options with site plans, and here at the middle school there were some ideas put out about different things to do with the parking lot in the back here, which we all know is in terrible shape, and what some options might be for that. We heard that we had some borings taking of the track and turf and stuff to determine how much we may be looking at to, when we look to replace that, get a better handle on the cost so we know how we can, if we have to budget X versus Y. And we were getting back together, I believe it's June 29th to review some more information. So before, I believe there's going to be a presentation to the board in July.
Yeah, the first item on the superintendent's report is an annual tradition, and it's very bittersweet. We were fortunate to work in a high-quality school district with great people, and unfortunately, every retirement we have is a loss of expertise, knowledge, work ethic, and a standard that I think has grown to be the Amherst standard. So tonight, we're certainly happy to recognize our retirees, but it is always bittersweet because we know they leave big shoes to fill. So I'd like to welcome up Mrs. Conley first in the recognition of our first couple retirees, and then we'll go from there.
The first person we're going to recognize tonight is Mr. Larry Arbogast. Larry began his career with Amherst Central School District January 21st, 1977, as a cleaner working at various buildings. In the mid-'80s, he had an opportunity to work out in the grounds department as a sub, and when one of the grounds workers retired, he was hired as one of the first groundsmen at Central Maintenance. He took pride in not only caring for the grounds, but also caring for others. Larry volunteered to be the person in charge of making the calls to the crew members when the winter weather arrived, and he did so faithfully. Mr. Mike Tomczak, our director of facilities, said, "We really think he enjoyed waking us up at 2 a.m. Larry would come in early to make sure all the vehicles were running and ready to go. During one of the snowstorms, several couldn't make it home for days, and Larry provided the provisions for them while they slept inside the field house. His attendance record is a testament to his commitment to Amherst. He was exceptionally responsible and dependable. He always took pride in everything he did, whether getting a ball diamond ready for play or lining a field. He's the only person Mr. Tomczak knew that can walk and paint a straight line at the same time. Most recently and most importantly, Larry exhibited his compassion for a fellow coworker, Dave Clark. When Dave left on long-term absence for health reasons, Larry assumed the responsibility of being a contact person with his family, with Dave's family. He made sure Dave's family had what they needed. He demonstrated the love and commitment we have here for one another in Amherst. Now Larry can take the time to enjoy being with his wife, Angela, who recently retired, and his son and daughter. Larry, thank you for all you have done for the district and for so many others. You will be missed.
Congratulations.
Thanks, everybody. I appreciate it. As I look at this back, I've been here about 38 years, and times it's been almost like my family. I enjoy everything I did, the people, the coaches, all the AD directors I work with. They're the best in the business. So again, thank you.
Thank you.
Now I'd like to invite Mrs. Flanagan and Mrs. Lavin up to recognize our next retiree.
So we want to recognize Joanne Ackerman first, our cook manager. As a cook manager, Joanne's day would start at 6 a.m. when the building is opened and ends at 2 o'clock when the dishes are done. And during her day, she strives for perfection and expects the best of her students and her staff. Her staff knows that everything needs to be just so before the children arrive. And during her 29 years in the district, she started a family, held offices in the PTA, completed her bachelor's degree at night, and worked out the kinks of the breakfast and the pre-K meal programs. She survived the Windermere kitchen makeover and renovation and has served over 3 million meals. That's like 400 meals times 180 days times 29 years. So, Joanne, you really make a great egg salad sandwich. I order it all the time. I'm going to miss it. It's just the right amount of mayo. So, sincerely, we're going to miss you. Thank you for all that you've done.
Thank you so much.
I want to point out too that Joanne has been a huge help to the PTA at Windermere, and the PTA is going to desperately miss you too.
Well, I learned a lot from the PTA, like I said the other night. I brought a lot of what you do here at Windermere, and I brought it to my son's school, and it was a private school, so they didn't have a PTA, they had a PTO that wasn't very active, and I learned a lot, brought a lot over there, and it really helps. But as far as the years I put in, I mean, you know, it's what I love to do. I think I was destined to be cooking and all of that other stuff, you know, just from a real young age. My mom got sick, and I was the person to take over all that stuff. So it just kind of went with me throughout the years. So thank you.
We're also here to honor Mark Moynihan, who has been our head custodian at Windermere for 35 years. Mark walked the halls of Windermere long before he started as a head custodian. He was an elementary student in our district, and he came to Windermere for the swimming pool. He has been known to say that he got detention and has never left. As our head custodian, he's been involved with every aspect of our school. He is in charge of maintenance. He's been working with people when they remodel our school numerous times. He's the kind of guy who, when you approach him, his response to work is, "What else can I do for you? How can I help you?" We've had times when children may have gotten on the wrong bus. He'll jump in his truck and go in the community and look for them. Every aspect of his job has been, in what way can I help Windermere serve its children and its students? He goes the extra mile, way beyond the duties of a custodian. He's beloved by all, and he cares deeply about the students. He's shared his knowledge of animals. He brings in tadpoles that grew into salamanders that then soon took over our courtyard. He volunteers at bike rodeos. He has a big love for biking, so he's rebuilt many, many a bike and given them to children who may not have had them in their lives. He's even painted murals on our walls. He's done everything that he can do to support Windermere. He's been awarded the PTA Community Service Award numerous times because of his love for our school community. And Mark, your shoes will be hard to fill. We will miss you very, very much. We're excited for your future, though.
When coming to this decision, I toiled and I knew the time was right and I'm ready to continue a journey. But the journey that I had here has been long felt with two words. I put them in my letter when I contemplated it. It was autonomy and community. Those two can never be separated because that is community. Those who give of themselves to provide for others, as well as join with others to raise each other up. That's what we are. That's what I learned at Amherst Schools. That's what we are. Thank you.
And next we have Cheryl Stuckey, who's a teaching assistant. Cheryl has been at Windermere for 13 years, lovingly referred to as Stuckey or Stook. Cheryl is a jack of all trades and wears many hats at Windermere. She's hired to be the extra set of eyes in the pool deck, but is also a cafeteria monitor, runs all the copy machines, supervises the locker room, assists with dismissal, and lends a hand to anyone that needs it. Cheryl is the type of person you can count on to get almost any job done with no questions or hesitations, or no clarifications needed. Beyond being an amazing worker, she is a good friend to all of us, and her dedication and hard work ethic will truly be missed. We wish her all the best during this next phase of her life, babysitting her granddaughter, Chloe. Thank you, Cheryl, for all that you've done.
Also a huge blow to the Windermere people. Along with Mark.
Yes. All three of them.
I just love my job. Julie, I've been there 22 years, not 13. But that's okay. I don't want to correct them. 22. But anyway, I just love Windermere, and I'm not going far. They all know I'll be around.
You've got a substitute.
So we have two central office retirees this year. And again, it's very bittersweet to see folks go with such expertise and experience. But I'd like to first talk about Doug Wolf, our technology coordinator. Doug, like Mark Moynihan, before his 20 years as technology coordinator, was a student here, graduating in the class of... He joined our district before the boom in the internet age and was brought in here in the digital age to really bring us up to speed with developing a network and infrastructure to do what we do today. He managed a budget that didn't increase for the years that he was here, but yet was able to juggle hardware, software, and infrastructure demands to keep us at the forefront of technology. Two of Doug's biggest achievements during his Amherst tenure were the implementation of state-of-the-art VoIP phone systems and the adoption of Google Apps for Education and Google for Email. Both of these projects saved the Amherst district thousands of dollars annually and also made us a model district among local districts for our use of technology. Doug, it's an understatement, but thank you for your years of dedication, your foresight, your forward thinking, and your diligence. You will be missed.
I got two houses in one night. It's as you were saying that I was a small one elementary, and when I first started here, I walked into some classes, I was just getting around the buildings and see they were still, honest to gosh, using a film strip projector only 20 years ago. The kind that goes beep, folk songs in American history. So I said, this job's gonna be cake, Well, little did I know it all rolled downhill in 20 years. We were pretty much a central point. But I think one of the interesting things is that so far, you really get the feeling that it takes a village. Look at the people that are retiring, not one yet from the classroom. And that tells you how many people it takes to make that pyramid of a great school system. So thank you very much, appreciate it.
Mark, this is the last board meeting, and you'll have to attend.
They told me that too.
Trying to choke back the tears, please. Mark began his career in Amherst, and like many of the other folks we're recognizing here tonight, he started at a lower level that he's retiring from, and he rose within the ranks. In 1985, he was a junior accountant and district treasurer. He has since held the titles of assistant business manager, director of administrative services, and assistant superintendent of administrative services as he sits here today. His 31 years in the district qualify him as the district historian. We all go to him and say, what does this mean and why was it written? And he has an answer. Mark's loyalty and confidentiality are the cornerstone of his longevity in the district. He's also had extraordinary problem-solving skills. I don't think there's a time that I've presented him with a problem or asked him for his advice where he didn't have a reasonable and rational solution that was able to bear fruit and be able to be implemented. His knowledge of the district, fiscally and historically, will be terribly missed. Mark, it's bittersweet. Congratulations.
Thank you very much, and it's a pleasure to be here this evening with friends and colleagues who are at the same point in my career and leaving, and it is quite fitting to think about how the school district was when we started and how it is now. And I was mentioning to Mary Lavin as I was driving into work my first year or two, Galleria Mall did not exist, it was a swamp. And similar to that, we had a great school district when we came in, but at that point, the two cafeterias at the elementary schools were in need of change. Joanne, you mentioned that you had one. I do recall that the Smallwood cafeteria office, the desk was the seat was the toilet. It was amazing. So we've gone through a lot of changes. The back of the high school is now on. An awful lot has been done. The district offices were actually at Harlem Road, and we just sold the Eggert Road School to the Cantillation Center, so a lot has changed in that time. As Tony said, I've had several jobs, and I've been very, very fortunate to have worked with some magnificent supervisors. Bob Eicher mentored me through my career in the first few years as the treasurer. Dennis Ford was outstanding as we worked through the fiscal issues as business administrator. Laura Chabey, phenomenal as she worked with me as assistant superintendent in human resources. And Tony has just taken the mantle and he's just done a superb job. It's just been a pleasure working with Tony. And we leave the school district in great hands, and we look forward to seeing what happens in the future. So thank you very much. It's been a great ride, and I look forward to seeing how the school district performs in the future. I'm sure it'll soon. Thank you.
Congratulations to all our retirees. And I know I mentioned this, but you will certainly be missed. And thank you for all your service to our district and our children. Thank you. Next, with the superintendent's report, I'd like to invite Mr. Zavadi from Turner Construction. He has some good news he'd like to present to the board.
All right, thanks, Tom. All right, so I'm not sure if a lot of you are familiar with the Brick by Brick Award. It's offered by the Buffalo Business First. and recognizes finalists in categories of real estate, construction, and development through Buffalo and the Niagara region. And the winners in each category are invited to an award ceremony, which this year was held at the Trough on June 13th. Turner Construction had applied a nomination for Amherst School District. I thought we had a really strong project this year, and so we put together a nomination and submitted it. Amherst was nominated under the Best Education School District category. So over a dozen school districts actually submitted their nominations. However, only the top 3 finalists were chosen. So it was us, Amherst versus Niagara Falls, and Pioneer for the top 3 finalists. So I was happy to say that Amherst Central School District was selected as the winner for the Best Education School District project. So we were very, very happy with that. And basically the award was based on their decision when they reviewed the amount of volume of work that was completed over 65 days. If you really take it and convert it from months to days, it gets pretty constricting. You know, you hear 65 days over $19 to $20 million. It's a lot of work. So they were really impressed with that, along with the multiple campuses, and especially the extensive renovations to Smallwood. I mean, the building was completely gutted, and we moved the teachers out, and it was just a huge coordination effort with the school district. So we couldn't have achieved this award without all the help and coordination, hard work, and dedication from Turner, Young and Wright, and most importantly, the district and the staff from all the schools. Can't express enough how it wouldn't have went smooth if we didn't have the district and each school's buildings support. It really went very, very smooth. Despite little hiccups, we still made it. And therefore, on behalf of Turner Construction, Young and Wright, and the Capital Project team, I'd like to present the award to the district. So we actually got a break.
No trouble.
Anne-Marie, I'm going to present this to you.
Thank you.
First, I'd like to say happy birthday to Carlo. Thank you for spending your special day with us. A lot went into this award, and Carlo mentioned some folks, and you know, I do think Turner deserves a lot of recognition for their planning and coordination, and thank you for putting in the effort to put us in and nominate us. It means a lot to us. Young and Wright, I know we have a representative here, so thank you for all your design and your planning. There's no capital project that will be successful in a school district without top-notch architects and construction management. You make it work, so thank you. I'd also like to thank our custodial staff at Smallwood and all the buildings for working with the contractors to get school open in time for the kids to come back. As Carlo mentioned, most of our application was based on Smallwood, which was really gutted and packed up in its entirety at the end of the school year, and by the Tuesday after Labor Day was ready to roll with students and teachers. The Capital Construction Committee deserves a thank you for your thought-out planning and scope of the project. Our community for supporting and approving the project that we put forward. I'd also like to thank our Board of Education for supporting the upgrade of our facilities. We certainly want to make sure we offer the best for our students. Mrs. Conley, who was overseeing a lot of this with Turner and Young and Wright, and then the Smallwood administration and staff for packing up everything you've accumulated in your career and working with kids, and then unpacking it again when you came back after summer. Thank you very much. I believe that is it for the good news and the superintendent's report.
That is one short superintendent report. Okay, so do I have anyone who would like to make a motion for new business?
I'll make a motion for new business items F1, A through I, 2, A through H.
Yes.
Oh, Steve.
Oh, you like the second?
Yeah, we're missing something.
No financial
Okay.
All those in favor of approving items F1A through I and F2A through Q, please say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. All right, do we have any follow-up action items? I don't believe we do. This is our final meeting of the school year, and I thought it'd be a good time to reflect on a few things. First, what has the board accomplished this year? We had 3 board goals, and one was to rework our superintendent evaluation. That was completed. We're on our way to being trained, we're well on our way to having that completed. The second was to start a dialogue with our sister schools, Williamsville and Sweet Home, to create an advocacy program for year-round advocacy for funding for our schools, and that also was completed. The third goal was to identify and hire, that's the word I was thinking of, a new superintendent. And that is something we also accomplished. People always say it's the most important thing that a school board does. It's also, as we all know, the most time-consuming. And we really put a lot of time and effort and really worked very, very diligently on that task. And I want to thank everyone for sticking with that. It wasn't always easy. I know we were away from our families, away from our jobs, away from other things, and we took it seriously, and we did a good job. And we want to thank Mr. Canella for agreeing to become our new superintendent.
Thank you for accomplishing your goals.
In this short time, you've made some great hires, you've helped us pass our budget, and you've made some, obviously, noticeable changes in the district, and it's really only been, probably been
3 months?
3 months, okay, give or take. And, oh yes, and we won awards, we won awards, right. That goal could not have been accomplished without Ms. Custodian. Really, no one knows probably more than you or I how difficult or time-consuming and difficult the superintendent search is. Really, really appreciate all that you did to make that happen.
Madam President, thank you for all the work you did.
Well,
We love this on this year.
We went above and beyond this year.
It was a great learning experience, which is the way you can reframe everything. Great learning experience. But speaking of which, this, although I will continue to be a board member, I am not. This is my last meeting as board president, and I want to thank everyone for the support and the trust that you gave me during this period of time. And I think it's kind of funny. We have our historians, our Quiz Bowl people. Little trivia: there are probably very few one-term presidents who have had the opportunity to work with not one, not two, but 3 superintendents. And it has been a great opportunity, a great honor. I learned a lot from each of them. I appreciate the trust and support that they put in me, and I appreciate all that they did for the school district. And with that, I wish everyone a wonderful summer vacation until July, and I will see most of you at graduation. And one last gavel clip. Meeting. Do we have to? That's
I'll make a
it.
motion to convene to executive session for the purpose of, for the matters regarding employment status of a particular individual.
All right. Second. All right. All those in favor?
Aye.
All right. Now, the gavel clip.